Oh, hello. I'm Jamie, or as most of you probably know me as, Japio. I'm here today to teach you how to splice. This will be my video tutorial. Okay then. We're going to start from the very basics. We're going to pretend I've never spliced before. I don't have any materials, all that stuff. So, what do we need? Well, as I just said, we need the materials. We're going to go to the internet for that, because the internet has everything. Okay, this is my good old homepage. I use Dig because it's cool. These are my little Google toolbar. And I'm going to type in Spriter Resource. Spriter Resource is this very handy site on the internet. It's composed of a whole lot of people, spriters and rippers, all together who get sprites from various games. We're going to click on Nintendo, going to go into the Pokemon series. We're going to want the most up-to-date ones, so we're going to use Diamond Pearl. Right down here we have our Pokemon. These are the first frame sprites. These are the most general and basic sprites there are. As you can see, we pretty much have everything. There's only a few things this sheet's really missing, like alternate forms of deoxys and stuff, but those shouldn't be too important if you're just starting out, or I've only needed to go get them on a few occasions. We're going to copy the image. We're then going to want Paint open. Here's Paint. We're going to click the Select tool. Going to right click on the white canvas, and then we're going to hit Paste. This then pretty much dumps that entire image right onto Paint for us. Okay. Now this might be a little boring, and the background is, all quiet and stuff, so I'm going to click hi. I'm going to jump into here and let's play some music. Okay, and that's going to be in the background. Now, as you can see, this black background is pretty annoying. We're going to want to get rid of that. First we go to the Fill tool, the bucket, if you know Paint, and then we're going to want to make sure our secondary color is white. If you can't tell the difference between, the colors, the one on top is the first color, and the one on the bottom is what I call the secondary color. I like to have white in the secondary, black in the firstary slot, just because that's what it comes with, and it's the most basic. With white in the secondary, I'm going to right-click onto everything, pretty much wiping out all the black. As you can see, there's like little bits between like Dojiro's head here. We'll fix those when we actually start spriting. Now we're going to want to grab some Pokemon to use. First we want to open up another Paint, where we'll be doing all our work. Go back to the sheet. Now I've chosen a few Pokemon to splice, but I am pretty much doing this blind. I do not know how well together these things will be. I chose Flappy. I went into the second canvas, right-clicked, and pasted. We then go down and find, let me see, I wanted to use Celia. We use the Select tool. We click and drag to surround him. Right-click, cut. Put him right next to Flappy in the similar method. One more Pokemon. I decided this one would be cute little, where is it? Togetic. Look at the little cutie. Okay. Paste into here, right there. And those are the Pokemon we will be splicing. .png. Save as png. Okay, on to part 2. Now that we actually have our Pokemon to splice together, we're going to now splice them together, of course. Okay. We're going to take what I like to use as the magnifier tool. Now, I'm using Windows Vista. A lot of people, I understand, don't have Vista because, well, honestly, it's not that great. The one reason I like Vista is just because of how Paint is used. There's really no differences except I can do this. Now, to some people, this may seem incredibly pointless, but to me as a splicer and a spriter, I love this. This is beautiful. Look at me go. In a normal form of Paint, you have to select this, and then you get either the basic form of zoom, or you actually have to go and click the different zooms, and you have to click this every time. It gets pretty old, so I'm going to go a little quicker than some of you actually might be able to do. Don't get discouraged. Okay, we're going to zoom in on our people. I like to get full-on close. I used to not to. I used to only use about 4 times zoom, but now that I can freely move between all different zooms, I use this now. Okay. We have our 3 Pokemon. The big part about splicing is you want to choose a base. What the base is what the Pokemon's going to mostly look like. Let me see if I can find you an example. We're going to open up another paint. I'm going to go to Open. I'm going to go into my files. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff here. I'm going to go under Splices. Well, let's find a good example. Actually, this is perfect. Okay, this is a Magmortar and Manaphy put together. As you can see, they're very different. The main thing that made them different is what I used as the base. The base on this one happens to be Manaphy. As you can see, the body shape is mostly Manaphy's with additions that look like Magmortars, and it's altered in some way. Over here, we have a Magmortar base, where it's Magmortar but with Manaphy features. This is usually the best way to do, easiest I should say, to distinguish between them. Okay, now that I'm done showing that example, we now have to choose a base. Personally, I like, I'm going to go with Togetic. Small bases can sometimes work. Depends, of course. We scroll down. Actually, I'm going to show you the better way. We click copy, we leave Togetic there, we come down here, we paste a new Togetic. What this is going to basically do is, let's say I'm drawing, whoops, I completely cross it over. Well, that looks unsightly, and let's say my undo button can't work because I've done too many things. Well, instead of, having to start all over, and, going and getting a new Togetic, I can get rid of the bad one, and just get the good one again. Okay, as you can see, there's this really big white border. To fix that, a very useful tool, especially when you're splicing, is you're going to want to set this. See the two differences? Basically what it does is makes the background transparent. The background that becomes transparent is the secondary color that I was explaining before. Because my secondary color is white, whatever is white is see-through, now that I have that, done. As you can see, we can actually see right through Togetic and right into Celio. Okay, so we put our base down here, zoom back in. Now we have to actually start taking pieces. Splicing involves us taking various features and things that make a Pokemon look like it onto the other one. So, since we already have a full Togetic, we're going to want to mainly look at Laffy and Celio. Now, it's pretty obvious what we can do with Celio here. He has these big mustaches. We're going to want to put those onto Togetic. I select it. Now, I'm going to teach you a real cool trick. You won't actually see me do it, because it's on my keyboard. Once selected, if I hold down the Control key, click, and drag, it automatically copies the piece for me. This is really more of a shortcut, and this is how I splice. You don't have to do it. You can do it in the traditional copy, paste if you want, if you're more comfortable with that method. But I'm just letting you know, throughout this video, I will be using the Control, click, and drag. We bring down the first mustache, and now, as you can see, we have a lot of unnecessary parts on this. We're going to want to erase that. Some people would use the eraser tool. I like to use the marker paint tool. I'm just weird like that. I like how I can reach into the corners. I'm going to right-click to erase to use my secondary color, and get rid of all this. Anything that's not the mustache. Be careful, you don't want to cut off anything you don't want. Sometimes you have to go and get the pencil tool and get into those little corners. And now we have a mustache. Now, when splicing, you have to be very careful about what you put where. I can't just put this here. There's multiple problems with that. The white's overlapping and looks weird. And also, that's not really where the mustache would be coming out on Togetic. The mustache comes out from below the nose or on the cheek. So what we're actually going to want to do with the way Togetic's head is placed is take Togetic and put it over the mustache. Once we find a good position that doesn't look too bad with the pixels, we settle on that. Okay, that looks pretty good, but I'm pretty lopsided, so we have to go get that second one. Highlight, Control and drag. We now have the mustache down here. We're going to once again take the marker tool, go through, erase all unnecessary parts. I know you're probably now noticing, whoa, this guy's music is awesome. It's true, it is very awesome. Now, if we were to just take this as it is right now and overlap onto it, you'll see it doesn't look very good. You'll see right through it. And either you can do that and go back and change it, although that's very dangerous. We're going to want to, actually do something. First, though, I've just noticed a small pixel here. I'm going to want to fix that. It's only tan because of Celio's background.